hungry, stop by Crisp Dairy Treat and try a delicious footlong and onion rings with a nice cold beverage like a pop or a milkshake. And remember, tell them we sent you.
And the last thing I want to tell you before we even start is Ben & Jerry's is Barnes & Noble.
That's the craziest thing I ever
How much
heard.
money do you want?
Right?
Seriously. So Google it anyway. So that's where we are.
Yeah. And hey, how's everybody doing out there? Welcome to the show. We are Tri-State Media Services. On my right is the famous Mr. Josh Parker.
Happy Fun Friday.
Happy Fun Friday. It's the day after Christmas. I'm your host, Mike Booth. Today, what we got for him today? What are we going to talk about today?
Well, first, we got to talk about the obvious, Christmas.
Yeah.
How'd you get here? Where are you going?
Yeah. How was your Christmas?
My Christmas was absolutely fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really was. I've had just a great journey to get here. I'm 46 years old, and yesterday was one of the best Christmases I've ever had. It really was.
That is awesome.
I got to spend it with my son. He's 24,
Yeah.
and it was just a great day. How about yours, man?
We worked and we filled up these tables 4 times with toys and food.
Awesome.
And that was just the coolest thing, because I'd have never thought in a million years if you told me, hey, man, and you know, in a couple of years, man, you're going to be feeding and making sure everybody has a really awesome Christmas. I would have never believed you.
Who are you feeding?
We basically, there was a lot of people that were homeless around this area, and we got a full giant table full of food out to people. We went through my buddy. He's like the boots on the ground around this area.
Okay.
And he basically goes and finds people that are homeless, and he assesses them and then tells them where they can get resources to better themselves. So
I love it. I saw people here and last time I was here getting presents and stuff for the
yeah.
kids. So let me ask you, are you giving to your inner child?
It's probably a possibility,
because
you
put you on the spot
yeah,
right there.
it's a possibility, because you know how I grew up, and it was poor, and I still had an amazing time. I didn't care if I got a shoebox. I would be happy with it. I would put my little G.I. Joes in there, and I would find something to do with that shoebox.
Let me tell you how much fun we had at your house.
Yeah.
We had one Sega Genesis controller playing Golden Axe
Back in the day.
and
So great.
You realized if you'd unplugged your plug and plugged it into the player two,
you got extra
continue,
lives.
You get 3 more lives.
Yeah.
So
I remember those days.
You had to make do. And the
awesome.
cord, remember, it was like
literally
2 feet long,
you had
24
literally
inches.
right in front of the TV. You could not move back. There was no sitting down. You couldn't get comfortable. What was comfortable? You sit on your knees and you played that game. It was amazing.
Yeah, those were great times. So no
really
matter
was.
what everybody had, no matter what kind of level of Christmas you had yesterday, I really hope everybody had a great one.
Yeah,
So.
it was awesome. And it was really cool because I'd see people come in and they had this look on their face like, so what's it cost? And I'm like, it costs you having a good Christmas. Just go out and have a good Christmas. And they was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. We had people, shout out to Nikki and Chris and their daughter, amazing people. They came out, they brought us a big batch of toys, which first started it, right? They went over to Huntington to
Christ Temple.
Yes, Christ Temple Church.
Shout out Mary Beth Smith.
Yeah, and it was amazing. And the people over there was amazing. You should have seen it. It was a warehouse full of toys. Like, it was insane how much toys they had.
They have a lot of givers over there.
Yeah. So my friends go over there. They show up, and I guess they had heard about it. So they get over there, and they're not expecting how quite big it is. And they said, the people there was like, hey, if you want to stick around, and you want to help us, And so they stuck around. They helped out, and they gave us just a huge thing of toys to give out. And it was so awesome. So shout out to them.
There has to be a perpetual law in life that the more you give, the more you get to give. I think if you give without intentions of trying to get anything back, I mean, life will provide you more to give and just to grow that reach.
I think so. I'd like to believe that that's how it works, at least, in somewhat parts, you know what I mean? Like, even if it's not 100% the law of the land for that, because, I think we have sometimes an idea that that's how life should be, and it sometimes doesn't work out that way. But
that's for sure.
But I'm okay with that. I'm like, if we don't do another thing in this business, I got the chance to literally provide for 100 families a cool Christmas. Like, I can't ever in my life ever say that I've ever had that opportunity to do that. And I thought that was awesome, man. And yeah, so we had a really good Christmas. I thought that was amazing. I got to see my son kind of at the end of the night, which was kind of cool. Gave him his Christmas gifts. He was real happy with that. I sent out my other son who lives in California. I got to give him a cool box. I don't get to see him much, so that's a kind of a rough one. But
yeah, how's that? So is that really tough for you during the holidays? Or
oh yeah,
is it something you kind of gotten used to and just kind of like know what to expect?
No, it never get used to it. Like the fact that he's 16 now, and the last time we really got to hang out, I want to say he was about 6.
Okay,
between 3 and 6. So the last time we actually got to hang out, and yeah, it kind of sucks that I've just not been able to be in his life, and that's a rough spot right there.
Man, you know, the main thing you can do is just be available.
Yeah, that's what I do.
When he comes knocking on that door, it's not if.
No,
I mean, it's just when.
That's what I'm hoping on. But like I said, there's a lot of kids out there that get angry and they don't want to have, you wasn't there, and they just kind of get in their feelings, and I understand it. And it just sucks because, circumstance, money, distance, space, like all of that factors in on, it just sucks. It's one of those, even the Olympians, like the gods back in the day, Zeus couldn't hang out with his kids, it happens. It's just one of those things. You got to try to keep living. Hopefully they'll come back in your life and you'll get to hang out with them.
Yeah, let me tell you my journey on that. My son got into the 8th and 9th grade and really, he rebelled.
Yeah.
Not just rebelled, like he went a little bit extreme. So, I got on drugs and he was going to the group home all the time. He had moved out of my house and moved in with his mom, and they just developed a great relationship where they had no rules basically.
Yeah.
They were just having a
no
good time.
Boundaries, no nothing.
But they were having quality time together, honestly. So he took some left turns. He overdosed one day, and luckily he's still here. But that's ultimately where that came. So, so since then, for whatever reason, we've reconnected. It was about 8 years.
I love it.
The first year he was really struggling with his mental health, and he's still working on it. And we're getting back on track. And his mom's off drugs, and he's off drugs, and they're both doing really good. And I tell you though, it's like grieving a person who is still alive.
Yeah, yeah.
You can go through all those stages, anger. I mean, you can be in denial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to accept it eventually, but it still hurts every day.
For sure.
My son was a mile down the road, and it felt like he was a million miles away.
That's wild.
He wouldn't return my calls. He wouldn't do anything. But now, yesterday, I mean, he's been back for a couple of years, and we've just had a great relationship. So I was just so thankful yesterday. So I'll tell you, just be available. Just know that it's coming, and just create something special for him to see whenever he does knock on that door.
I love it.
Yeah, that's the real.
We had kind of our first real conversations like within this last year, really. Where normally I was so ashamed of not being able to like see him or be around in his life that I would send messages basically to his mom, and then she would kind of relay it to him because I just felt like I was just, all my life, my real dad, I didn't get to hang out with him. And I never knew him at all.
I remember staying the night with you, and you had white parents.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? I didn't even ask. I went home. I was like, Mike has a white mom and dad.
Yeah, yeah. So
and mom was like, no, he don't. It has to be a stepdad. I'm like, no, he said it was his dad.
Yeah. My dad. And because my real dad, I never got to see him, and I didn't get to know him. So it's interesting to me because living that life, and then now I feel like I'm kind of putting my kid through it now, and it sucks. So just a shout out for all the parents out there. It is not easy. There is no real 100% cookie cutter game plan for everyone. Everybody's different, and your situations might be different, and it sucks. And I'm not trying to give you advice to say that's what my man here's for. So if you're ever having mental issues about this, or if it's bothering you or anything like that, what is the number that you guys can call them at?
I did not mean for this to be a plug.
No, I meant for it to be a plug because I think that's a great thing that you do for people.
It's the norm out there with the custody battles and all this
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying.
There's a
really
real crisis with that. But let me tell you, if you ever want to talk about that, it's 681-684-7233.
Yeah, which is safe at the end.
681-684 safe.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so you can even call and text. And we've had people text over the holidays just awesome. To check in.
Yeah.
And just to talk smack. Just say, hey, I stayed clean and sober.
See, I love whatever. That.
I'm like, hey, yeah. I'm like, I had nothing but faith in you.
Yeah.
You know, so
I've got a friend who he's been clean and sober for a while, and he's getting his life together. And if you'd have seen him at the beginning versus what he's doing now, it's fantastic. I actually got two of them that are doing that, and they call me and talk to me, and it's pretty awesome because I always try to keep myself as like a friend that they can always contact or call, if they ever need it, just to say like, hey man, you can do better. Yeah, like just keep them, honest with themselves, same way I feel that, my friend should do for me. Like if I start falling off and I'm doing something stupid, I would hope that somebody be like, hey man, listen, you're making a mistake. Come back this side, but sometimes you don't get that lucky.
Well, that's the mentality I have too. I think sometimes when people relapse or they just, they kind of go to the left or the right off center, they're ashamed.
Yeah.
And they don't,
horribly.
They built this great thing with you and they almost don't want to face you. But reality, it's not like that. We want you on this side of the door because here's where the support is. Here's where the solutions are. Yeah. And we don't even have the answers to all the questions because everybody's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we know that, like, if you're a human being, the first thing we're going to do, we're not going to talk to you. We're just going to listen.
Yeah. That is a big deal right there. Just that right there in itself.
Just going to listen. Now, I understand that, like, so you with your son, your other son, you have different dynamics with everybody. Yeah. So you're continuing to build this, and I really think it can all come together, and this can provide you the means to get to California.
It's pretty awesome because that's all I do this for is to be able to provide. Like I don't care about any of the other stuff. Like everybody's like, oh, what kind of truck or what are you gonna buy if you start to make money? And I'm like, I haven't even thought of any of those things. Like the only thing I want to do is be able to provide. If I could put a roof over my kid's house, like, you know what I mean, make sure that they got food. I don't really care about all the rest of it. It's all frivolous. Like,
yeah, it's so simple, isn't it?
It really is. It's weird because I read something somewhere, and I don't know when the change happened for me, right? Like, I've always craved to be wealthy one day because, when you come from a poor home, you want more for your family and for what you're trying to do. And I read something somewhere, and it stuck with me, and it said, make sure that your material wealth that you are acquiring is able to fit in heaven, or you can take it with you, and it took me a lot of years to kind of put that together. Like, what the heck does that even mean? And it's like, you could have I look at some of these, sorry to get off topic. I look at some of these billionaires, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's all topic, man.
Well, this one guy, he's a billionaire. He's a fighter. He's a boxer.
Conor McGregor, or
no, he's
Floyd Mayweather.
No, I think he's from Europe somewhere. Kind of a mixed guy. He's always like, he's always talking crap to people. Like, I mean, he's very also at the same time pushing you to do better. Like he's like, oh, I'm the kind of guy that you want to be like. You want to be this. You want to, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. But at the same time, he's kind of weird. But I like the guy. He goes out and he pushes people to be more like, manly. Like, like you need to be a provider. You need to do this. I tell him, like, I see him doing his thing. He's got $1 billion, right? Which is crazy a number of money, right? But then he gets into some legal troubles and he gets locked into his country, so he can't leave. Okay, so you get a billionaire that can't leave. He's on basically house arrest, which sounds really comfy and cushy. But then he comes out and he says, how many Bugattis can I buy? How many cars can I have? Like, if I have 100 cars, he's like, which is awesome, I can only drive one at a time. It's just me, He's like, I can't go anywhere. He's like, so what can I actually do to make an impact? I'm a billionaire, but can't go anywhere. He's like, so what does my wealth actually do me? I can't, can't fit any more paintings in my house.
Stuff.
It's just stuff. And I'm like, okay, so then I started realizing, okay, so that was to me the opposite of what I had read that one day. What I had read was make sure that your wealth is for a place in heaven, basically. If you believe in heaven, I mean, you don't have to.
That's
I'm
what
just
you
saying.
read.
Yeah, it's what I read. And I loved it because it basically said, the good deeds that you do here are kind of your real wealth. That is the stuff you get to take with you. Like, I could be homeless. All of everything I have right now could just disappear overnight. You know, a fire. It could be like everything gets stolen. It could be anything could be taken away. The things that I've done, though, you can't take that away. That's stuff I get to keep for the rest of my life, and it's mine. You know, no matter what, those are the deeds that, like, I get to say, hey, at the end of the day, like, hey, man, I got to do this. Like, you know, that's really cool. So, I just think that that's funny that we chase material wealth that will rot, it'll fade, it doesn't stick around long, and then it's like we kind of wonder why we feel empty at the end of the day sometimes, and it's kind of a good reason why we feel empty at the end of the day. We're chasing something that's not real. It's
society tries to get you to compare yourself with everybody.
I know,
and they throw you up stuff that you don't have, and they try to tell you need it. Yeah. And it's hard. You know, the algorithms are for real, so and they latch you in.
They do, and that's another thing. It's you know, we live in a society where we see the haves versus the have-nots, and we were talking before the show. There's a lot of people that compare millionaires to billionaires, and it's just so vastly different. It's like me, who has nothing but looking up to a millionaire, and I'm like, man, that millionaire's got everything. But then a millionaire will look up to a billionaire because, like, to them, they have not. Like, it's that much of a difference, man. $1 billion is so much money; it doesn't make any sense.
You know, maybe you're wrong. Realistically,
yeah,
it's just $1 billion. It's not a lot. It's not. I mean, it's a lot comparatively, but it's not a lot or it's not a little. It's just $1 billion because it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, $1 million was
a lot.
billion.
Yeah.
So I think to be a millionaire, sometimes you got to think like a billionaire.
Yeah.
And
you're
not evilly. I'm talking about, for instance, you're looking for sponsorships.
Yeah.
You need to look for partnerships.
That I like. That's a great idea. Actually.
That
I like
will change it.
Yeah.
And that's just one simple thing you can change to develop the bigger reach.
Yeah.
And that's how you grow. It's just the bigger reach. All you're doing is advertising for people for these great small businesses around here that nobody knows about because they're not good at business, but they're great at making food.
Yeah.
They're great at making crafts. They're great at whatever it is, exterior design, but they're not good at advertising.
That's one of the things that this year coming up, I plan on taking. I have built this machine over here, and it is this awesome little documentary machine, and I call it Microbyte, and it is a 3-camera setup, and I hope to be going to these places that I'm talking about and basically showing you their business. And if they will allow me in the doors, I will basically give them promotion to try to keep them, you know, relevant and out. You know, I'm on this kick right now of protecting the places that we want to see thrive. And I think that's one of those things that's a worthwhile journey.
There's some great people around here you can get to.
It really is.
For instance, there was Mrs. Kitts from Fairland school system. She just went on the Today Show for the impact she's had on her kids' test scores.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I bet she had a great journey. I could probably get you hooked up with her, maybe.
I would love to. Yeah,
there are some great diamonds in the rough around here.
I'm telling you, and that's what I'm trying to showcase, because I think for far too long we've had the idea that we're just pillbillies, or just not worth their time is basically what people kind of assume, and that's can't be farther from the truth.
The Crystal Methodist.
Yeah, and right now it's enough to make people try to stand up and showcase what they're really about. Because I've seen some really cool businesses lately, business models, and being in business this is like technically this is my third business, right? But I have failed every time. But, they say you never fail because you're just learning for the next one, right? So, like, I always thought that was a really cool.
You gotta fail forward.
Right.
And did you fail? Look around.
I mean, so you
want me to start naming the stuff you have?
No, but
so it was just part of your journey.
It was.
I want to lifting weights. I realized this thing. When you do a rep, for instance, you do a curl, you start at the bottom and you start at the top. There is no strength at the bottom, and there is no strength at the top. The whole journey is where you get the strength. And That's why you have to slow down your lift and appreciate that.
That's cool.
So right now, this is just part of your journey to something bigger, friend.
That's what I'm hoping.
I mean, you can look back. Don't hope, it's coming.
Yeah.
You have the equipment in Ashland and Ohio, Ironton and South Point, Huntington. They're just little communities just on the verge of just exploding with just great things.
Just amazingness.
Because there's property here.
Yeah.
There's beautiful hills here. Yep. There's sunsets and sunrises and the Ohio River and the bridges and just the leaves changing in Ohio. And if you drive down 64 in West Virginia.
Oh, I know.
I drove down to Clay County one day in November. It was like the first week of November. And it was, oh, man, it was just serene.
It's awesome, right?
You can get lost in it. And there's no other views like that.
Yeah.
There might be similar views, but there's no views like that.
Yeah.
There's creeks, and you look along the creek, and there's these houses and these kids just playing ball and stuff like that. So some of the things I'm doing with my business, I'm trying to connect to those remote places in West Virginia where they can't get services.
I like that.
That's cool. We're trying to get it. But there are so many things going on in the local tri-state that are positive. I think you really have you're going to have to go fishing.
Yeah.
You're going to have to search for them because a lot of them, we don't even know where they are.
Yeah, exactly. I found a wolf sanctuary, which I thought was amazing. We went over there and,
Now, did they say wolf or wolf?
Wolf sanctuary.
I've always said wolf.
Yeah.
So we got to figure that out.
These things were gigantic.
Yeah.
It was Game of Thrones for real. Like, I'm sitting here watching these giant animals, and they're so friendly, but they're not supposed to be friendly. You know what I mean? This is just where they've been in captivity, and you kind of forget that these are actually animals, but it's humbling to see because you'll see one, they're super friendly, he's coming up, he's licking your arm, he's like super friendly, he's like a big dog, right? But then you'll see him sit down, and then he's just starting.
No, not right. What are you talking? A wolf?
Then he's just gnawing on a bone.
What are we talking about?
I'm serious. These wolves will literally come up.
I'm not going to sit here and just see a friendly wolf.
Yeah.
First of all, probably with a cougar.
Yeah.
That's going to be weird for the interaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was good.
It was a good one.
No, that's where is that located?
It is right there on the top of so as soon as you go into Ohio, the second, what is that? Lick Creek Road?
Yeah, Lick Creek.
Yeah, so you go straight up on Lick Creek, go all the way up, and it's at the very top of that hill.
At the top of the hill, that's Possum Hollow, right?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, Lick Creek goes to the right.
Yeah.
Wow, the wolf sanctuary.
Yeah, and
so cool.
Very cool. And I will definitely suggest if you've never actually gotten to see a wolf in real life, it's a humbling experience. They're very cool. And when they all start howling at the same time, you're just like, okay, this is a little...
When you're a business owner, you approach the world a little bit different, I think.
Yeah.
Because you can connect to people that you wouldn't even know. I was telling you that Barnes & Noble is Ben & Jerry's.
Yeah.
Guinness World Book of Records is Guinness beer. Did you know that?
That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, Guinness beer, they were a little bit low on beer sales compared to Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah.
So what they did was they wanted people to gather around and just sit and drink beer. So they started making world records. And that's how.
Neat.
Yeah, so if you connect with people in a business sense and just connect with those human beings, you could have two totally opposite businesses come together and thrive.
That is actually awesome because I never would have thought that's so Ben & Jerry's is Barnes & Noble. So they just wanted to kind of promote people to read, get
I
out
think
there.
Realistically, they probably had a business model that worked, and they might even have had a $5 bet that hey, we can do this with books and with ice cream. And the brother's like, no way, yes way. And I mean, that realistic, because what they're selling is they're selling a product, and it's diverse.
Mm-hmm.
And ice cream is books. I mean, there's
really
many different ways.
And they always have the little writing on there or tell the little jokes on the sides
So, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't know that. And about Guinness as well. Yeah. So, and I think those companies probably were in the situation you and I are in a small business.
Yeah.
And they probably just said, you know what, we're just going to listen. We're going to throw a Hail Mary, and if it don't work,
if it hits.
But I wonder how many Hail Marys they threw before they
hit
got
one. Yeah, so that's true. That's
it. So I know there's a small business out there that needs you. I know there's a person out there that's listening to this that needs a service of detox, mental health, vape program, kids' mental health, all kinds of different stuff. So we both, as a small business, we were selling a service to people. Not selling. I'm just selling my repertoire. Because we care about people, and I think you do too.
Yeah.
So you can get this voice and magnify it all over the place. That just for instance, a little small place like Crisp.
Yeah.
And we had a place growing up in South Point, Snack Shack.
Snack Shack, man.
Yeah.
Used to love
and
that
it's got
place.
bought out by the Shakery, which they are doing amazing work down there. Mary Kogan, her daughter, and man, they just had a great turnaround.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so those small businesses are thriving, and a lot of people don't even know they exist.
Yeah.
At 7:30 at night, you can leave the sunset, or 7:30 or 8:30, depending on the fall, whatever. You can see the sunset. Go over to Snack Shack or the Shakery now or the Crisp and get you a milkshake. And awesome. Man, every time you share a milkshake now, it's something different.
It's a memory. Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. It's a core memory you are unlocking for that moment, and it sticks with you, dude. Like,
and you can't DoorDash that stuff.
You cannot. Yeah. I mean, it's not the same.
You have to take your time,
enjoy it, and have that memory. That's exactly right. And I think that's the big difference between a box store and a local. A box store, you go to them like. Everybody loves to go down to a McDonald's or Burger King or any of those. No, it's fine. You can get those anywhere. When you go there, your money goes to them. They don't care. It goes right into a register somewhere to some giant Swiss bank account that's going to some crazy person who is a lord and lair. They
Back
don't
to the
care.
billionaire.
Yeah, they do not
Ray
care. It makes them no difference if you go and shop anywhere else. Now, a local business, when you go and you frequent them, that money goes into their family. That money goes back into your community, and it comes back. And I think
it's somebody's
awesome.
aunt that waited on you at the window.
You know what I mean?
Your kid you went to high school with that back there flipping the burger and just say, "What's up, bro?"
Yep.
He hooks you up. Those are great times.
It is.
And if that is fading out, maybe it's our responsibility to just let's get this let's get this voice out here to these other people.
100%.
The small businesses are few and far between, but
it's crazy.
The diamonds in the rough are here. So Wolf Sanctuary, anything else you found?
So
what about my office? Tell me what you thought, what you saw
at your place?
Yeah.
Your place is amazing.
So you went from the Wolf Sanctuary, I said, "Hey, man, I got a little kids book published. Want to stop by?"
So when I came over to your place, I thought that I was going to talk about a book that you had wrote. So I was just thinking to myself, I was like, "Oh man, that's awesome," because I myself have been writing books, and it's very difficult. It is not an easy task at all.
Kids' books are only 20 pages. So
that's fair.
Got it down pat.
Okay, so I'm trying to write fun little sci-fi stuff, right? And it's not easy, very, very difficult. So I was so proud that, my friend has wrote books. So I'm like, yeah, cool. Let's do this interview. I get over there and I'm like, is this a church?
Hold on one second. It's called Passages LLC.
Right.
And my book is called Home Run Home. Okay. And it's about anti-bullying in youth sports, specifically softball. Okay.
That was
Passages
awesome.
LLC. I told him 31st Street.
Right.
Did you drive around the block?
I did.
Okay.
Because I was like,
we love it because it's hidden in plain sight.
Dude, we get there and we look at each other and I'm like, is this a church? And it looked like some kind of a crazy church / hidden office. It's what it looked. It looked like something that maybe there was an accounting firm or something that was inside of there. You would not have ever thought that this was a place where people go to actually heal. And you get around we went from the back to come in, and he gave us a tour of it, and I was blown away. First impressions mean a lot, and what you have done for those kids and for the people that come in there is phenomenal.
Oh man, I just have a great team.
It was phenomenal. I'm like, dude, how did you even so we had this amazing interview, and I'm like, how did you even accomplish this? Did you already know that this is what you wanted to do, and then it just kind of fell into place? Was it everybody kind of helped you build this, or did you just I'm just gonna manhandle it and make this happen? What happened there? What was the process like of building Passages?
Well, you work at a 9 to 5, and
Yeah.
sometimes you say to yourself, I can probably do this a little bit better. And I didn't have that kind of superiority thing, but I thought Prestera, I worked there for 15 years or whatever.
I've heard of that place.
And they basically accept, at that time, West Virginia Medicaid and a lot of just in-state stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't really have an opportunity for patients from Ohio or Kentucky. Yeah. So I thought, I want to start a place that accepts all of them.
Yeah.
So I started that in Lavalette over 10 years ago. And just we have established the vibe that when you come in, we care about you. And that is,
I love it.
That's what has grown. And it's just, we can't grow too fast because we want to make sure we have ample therapists and everything else and case managers and doctors for everybody. There's no waiting list. So it's been this organic growth process for the last 10 and a half years that we've just had. We've crossed paths with just amazing people. We have millionaires in our program. We have people that are that live in trailer parks that are just thriving.
Yeah.
We have happy people. We have sad people that come in, and we're just trying to help them get to the middle. Not even happy. We're just trying to just get them through the day.
Just another day.
And and then throw substance abuse in there, and we've been able to figure out how to present the tools to people that they can use, that they feel confident in reaching out. They feel confident in staying clean. And they realize that if something happens that they do fail, it's not a failure if you just get back up and get back on the horse.
Failing forward.
Yeah, you fell forward. And then, so like, what now? If somebody did relapse, I want you on this side of the door.
Yeah.
So that's it. And the therapist, if you're having a bad day, take off.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the therapists, there are a lack of therapists that are credentialed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a feat to get licensed and do all those hours and get all the supervision and stuff. So
keep all that with you, like, because sometimes you hear those horrendous stories, man, that just they'll sit with you, Like,
oh yeah, that's compassion fatigue.
That's it.
It's easy to take it home.
Yeah.
When you serve people with your heart.
That's true.
And then, but you got to figure out the balance, because you're going home to your family that are just waiting on mom or dad. You know, so those people, I mean, they have a lot going on in their mental health too. So if they need a day off, we just immediately give them a day off. It's no big deal. Yeah. So we have other therapists that provide support and whatever we need. So that's just it. And so the way I kind of frame it with my staff is I don't pay my bills.
Yeah.
My staff pay my bills, and they know that. So I serve them and I spoil them.
I love it.
And then I let them know you don't pay your bills.
Yeah.
Your patients, clients pay your bills. Yeah. And then if you pay that forward a little bit, the industries and services that they're in pay their bills.
That's true.
So it all comes together with sobriety and mental health, and then you help different age groups and different just mental health stuff going on.
I really love that.
And then going back to small businesses, there are probably over 100 small businesses within my office. There's people who are out there trying to make it that just having mental health problems, and this is really helping them open up their business. So I have a therapist, and I'm on mental health meds. I didn't start out on mental health meds. I had to do therapy first.
Yeah.
Graduated, and I figured out what worked for me. And I have a therapist, and that means 400 other people have a therapist.
Yeah.
All my patients do. So
I had my first therapist a few years back, and it was pretty awesome. What's the word for it? Lethargic, when you're just like sitting there and you don't talk about your feelings. You just kind of sit, Yeah, where you just kind of like brooding, I guess is the word. You're just, nobody's going to help me.
Oh man, I forgot the word.
Lethargic is, I think, the word that I'm looking for. But it's like you don't do anything. You're just stuck in your ways. You don't want to help. Like that's exactly how I felt when I went to
whatever that word is. It's not languishing. It's not. It's something like that. Anyway, my therapist named Sierra Taggart Reed. Little plug for you, girl. She's great. She's like for instance, her therapist office. This lady saved my life.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just a great therapist for me.
That's awesome.
And I don't know a lot of people know she exists over there, and she has the tools to help people save their life.
Yeah.
And so does her business partner Amanda Meyer. So
awesome.
they just have some great tools over there. So when we realized as a business that therapy office, my therapy office is not in competition with any therapy office.
Right.
My therapy office is in competition with the depression of the community.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to fight. I think some of the corporations get caught up in thinking that the little guy is going to overtake their business and put them out of business. Bro, ain't nobody like Crisp is literally right behind McDonald's.
Right.
Yeah, it ain't.
It doesn't do it that way. Yeah.
They both been there for a while, bro. It's the public is the competition.
Exactly.
Not each other.
That's so true.
So I really, that's what we try to do. So I carry that. Anybody I'm helping or talking to, like, hey man, any way we can help each other with our.
See, I love that, because that's what you don't get enough of in business. You have a lot of people that. Okay, so in photography, right? When I first started out in photography, you could do any type of photography you wanted to. Portraits, headshots, you could go back to modeling, you could do product placement. Every bit of that. Nobody will say a word. They will help you. They will tell you what cameras to get. They will tell you what lenses to get. There is no competition. Now hear me on this. The moment you step foot onto the battlefield that is the wedding photography, that is when people will cut your tires to make sure that you don't get to your job. They will slash your car. They do not care. Wedding photographers are the most downright scandalous people I've ever met. So is that the
lucrative part of photography?
That is the lucrative part of photography. Those sessions are normally technically start out at about $3,500.
I didn't even I just did senior pics. And I did, family pics. Those are pretty easy.
Those are easy.
Because I set boundaries with people when I did photography.
And that's what I love about photography. I think it's like so here's the thing. You're not hiring me because of the cool gear that I've got, because you don't even know what kind of gear that I've got. Most people that come in to get pictures from me, they don't know what kind of camera I'm running, and it's an Olympus, by the way. Some people will go, Canon is the best, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. It's cool. If your gear is what you're really into, then it's a hobby, you know? If you're there to help them take a moment, that's where you're at. That's when you know you love photography.
You know, it's different with your mindset and with their mindset.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have a list of portraits like smile, smile, smile,
exactly.
smile, smile, mom and dad, mom and sister, mom and aunt.
Yeah.
The candids are where it's at.
Yeah.
When that girl's catching the bouquet.
Absolutely.
When she's dropping the bouquet.
Yeah.
When her tiara goes crooked. When the kiss goes crazy.
And that's the point that I think a real photographer will tell you if they're ready for that moment. Okay, so I've been in photography for about 10 years now, and I can honestly say that I'm just good enough to where I think that I could do a wedding. But here's my thing for that. If I'm doing a nice portraiture shot or a boudoir shot, I could say, hey, listen, we didn't get the right pictures. Won't you come back in and I'll give you a free session. We can come back in. We can get those next little close-ups that we didn't get the last time. And everybody's happy. It's amazing. We have a great time. If I come to you and I say, hey, listen, I didn't catch that shot where you were catching the bouquet. Can we do this over? No, there's no, you had a one chance and you have to hit that, you know? Yeah. So that's the big deal. And I think that wedding photography is so cutthroat. They are so serious. So if you get a professional wedding photographer and that's the person you go with, and just stick with them, because
how many wedding photographers are out there?
A lot.
Let's bring them in. Let's figure out why they're different than each other.
I could tell you that right now. So since I have gotten into photography, so a real close friend of mine, I'll say it that way. She was amazing. Her shots, like when she would take pictures, she framed everything in a shot. So like if the shot was going to be about somebody, she would try to get close enough and far enough away to where she would use little borders to make a border on her picture every time she took a picture, which was like probably the most amazing thing I had ever seen. My pictures were very just, I'm trying to get you in the frame. I'm very statistical, like I'm using a 50 at 4.1 and 1.4. And, that's how I took my approach to photography. She took her approach to photography as the image she was, taking. And well, we'll say it this way. I always said that I'm taking a picture. She always said she's making a picture.
Oh, wow.
And there was a real big difference between that right there. And that's when I learned that there was different levels to photographers. So I knew all about the specs and the gear and all of that stuff. She knew all about the framing and the life part of being a photographer, right?
Yep.
So when you meet a wedding photographer, you can have a person who's analytical, who knows that they're going to get all of those shots, right? Which is cool. But when you meet a real wedding photographer, they're going to tell you, hey, your bridesmaid is going to do this at this certain time. Your best man is probably going to hook up with this person, so I'm going to try to stay around those two just to make sure that I get that in there. You're going to have these life moments. They know those life moments. You know what I mean? And that's the difference between like a mediocre to a medium to a high wedding photographer. And when you see the guy come in and he's got two cameras strapped to his chest, the guy knows what he's doing. He's a pro,
My buddy named Howie McCormick is the best photographer I've ever seen in my life. And he lives, I think, in Buchanan, West Virginia, or somewhere down there.
Yeah.
He makes the ordinary extraordinary. And it is just, he can have us sitting right here.
Yeah.
The angles, the power he could show, just the depth, the emotion.
Yeah.
his pictures are different, and that's from 20
Just
years of
20
experience,
years of experience.
30 years. Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
doing so great. He did my stepson's senior pictures a while back, and
Love it.
they were a level above everybody else's. Just not to compare them or whatever.
No, I mean, you're supposed to. Honestly,
there are some
you
great
are supposed to,
but he's one of them.
I think that there's this misconception where it's like, you know, here's one thing I will say. Okay, it doesn't matter how good I am. So like if I go to show you my work and you know a photographer that is like that, of that caliber, no matter what I do, it will never be good enough to top that photographer, because the best thing you can have in photography is that right there, what you just did. You did a plug for him because you knew him and you knew his work. You know what I mean? I've got people who know me and they know my work, and no matter who they meet, it doesn't matter if it's like, you know, the Cardi method, like the people who are really just pro photographers. It doesn't matter if you're with these people, they will always assume that my work is better than theirs just because they know me. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
And there's always somebody who knows somebody and they're like, this person knows what they're talking about. Because in small business and just in business in general, the best advertisement you can have is word of mouth.
That's it.
It is literally
organic
growth. Organic growth, man, is just the greatest thing you can possibly get. And to me, that's like the biggest flattery that I could get, is that like when we started doing these little mini Christmas sessions over here, I had more real photographers looking at my page and at my, like, you know, my Facebook, my website. They were literally, I was getting more traffic because of this than I had ever before. And I thought that was insane. Like, they actually gave a shit what I was doing, you know, like, okay, cool. You know, I'm on their radar. That's really cool. When I started going to these events with the cameras to try to like record, like for the civic meetings and things like that,
sure,
I got to see like real teams, like, you know, My Town TV. Like, these are the big dogs, you know, like I'm getting to see, like, you know, WSGZ, what was the news? WCHS took one of my images and gave me a shout out for it and said, hey, wanted to give credit to, you know, Tri-State Media Photography for this photo. And I'm like, yes, like that is just such a cool moment when you get like a peer is looking at your work and they're just like very happy that, you know, you are existing. Like, that is a cool feeling, you know. I see the My Town TV guys over there at those meetings and I'm just like, what's up, guys? You know, and we just, you know, it's a cool meeting. It's you get to see who you get to work with and you get to meet cool people, and it's just awesome.
I've seen you grow. Like I saw you on your little YouTube thing. I saw you grow, and I'm like, man, I didn't know my buddy did this. Yeah. And then you kind of stopped it for a little bit and grow. Let me tell you what my vision is for my company to use your company.
Yeah.
So I would like to bring in people here and interview them about their recovery story. I would like to interview recovery facilities and businesses to see what's out there.
Yeah.
Inpatient facilities, outpatient, who has a crisis unit, who has mental health, who has stuff for kids, who has this. And there are some people here that you have no idea that their recovery story can impact your life in a positive way.
For sure.
So we have people all over the place that are just out there that their story could change somebody's life. Yeah. And all it is we could bring them in for 5 or 10 minutes a week. So
I'd love it.
What is the phone number here in case somebody wants to tell their story? Maybe we hook it up and try to.
You can get a hold of me at 606-939-6616.
Okay.
And that is my personal number, and you can call that anytime you want to, and that'll get you right in
perfect.
touch.
So if you're listening to this and you want your story out, I would love to have you on here.
Yeah.
And even if you're one day clean, even if you're anticipating going to rehab, even if you're anywhere along the lines in the addiction process and you want to learn or educate us, please come in. We would love to hear all sides of it. Even there's the legal side.
Yeah.
There's the law enforcement. There's lawyers, judges, and everybody's involved.
That would be a really cool thing that I wanted to do was get so for far too long, me and my girl, we talk. She worked at a jail. She used to be the cook at the jail. And we'd have these conversations and I would say, you know, I grew up where we stayed the hell out of their way. Like, if we saw a police officer, we moved out of the way, you know? But when you see a firefighter, you're just happy to know a firefighter, right? Like, there's no animosity. There's no, like, I need to watch out of the way. Like, you just know that guy is cool as hell and he's going to help you. Like, one day. I think that there needs to be some kind of a divide that helps them. Like, I want people to look at police officers the same way that they look at firefighters, you know? Because at the end of the day, they're just trying to help you. And it's like, yes, I understand that there's probably some bad firefighter out there that's probably done some horrible shit. Excuse my language. But we don't look at firefighters like that. We still look at firefighters like they are an amazing force, that they are trying to help people. And I'm sure that there's people that are in the police force that have done some bad stuff, and it's making all of them look bad, and it sucks. And I think that there's some really amazing, police officers out there. And that's
the way I can use that for my business and my voice and my vision is I would love to have those people and tell their side of the story with addiction.
Yeah.
And what they have experienced with addicts.
For sure.
And what they have experienced with the addicts that they've like rearrested, but they're clean and sober, just outstanding warrant from like 2 years ago, but they're happy for them that they're clean and sober. I want to hear the people who've been in drug court, if that impacted their life, or 100%. If they hated the monotonous going to do it every day.
Yep.
That's what it takes, is the little things.
It does.
And I think there are a lot of people out there, and if we could get that, we could really grow your organic growth.
Yeah.
A lot of the people would watch this, and we could really connect and get the message out of recovery or just access to people. Or
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, and that's
it really would.
Let me tell you this story real quick. Can anybody hear me? I can. We ain't live, girl.
Yeah,
come on now.
I can delete this if you want.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, everybody that goes through my kitchen, or my kitchen used to be, they all got their peer support. They get their GED. It's required now.
I always thought that was really cool too, like that they do help people with that part.
I would love to get him on here with you.
Perfect.
For that, because the change that he has made in that place down there is
for sure
astronomical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have never seen anything like that in my entire life.
Wow.
Like, I cry whenever because I worked for another administration before him, and there was really nothing done.
It's kind of the corporate beast.
Yes, when he came in, he got these programs started. He cared. He wouldn't call them inmates. He called them residents. And that made a big impact on the inmates themselves. You wouldn't believe the people that have come out there and doing great. Got one girl that has been in and out of jail for 20-some years. Now, she took my place down there in the kitchen.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Over the kitchen now. And I'm going to have her on here too. She's already agreed to come on.
That's really fun. Yeah.
But that's what one impact one person can do, or a group of people can do, is unbelievable on that aspect.
Yeah. Do you know what else they can do? They can get everybody who's ever heard their story to watch Tri-State Media.
Yeah.
And there might be another story. What about her brother? What about somebody who like went through that with them and their perspective?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people out there that have amazing stories that we could really impact the world if we could just get their ordinary story and just tell how extraordinary it is.
Yeah.
Somebody's normal day out there is hell for me.
Facts.
We've been there.
Yeah.
Listen, I've had mayonnaise sandwiches, baby.
I know that's right
now. And if we had soy sauce, that thing was,
whoo,
man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So Frank's Red Hot was in trouble too. So
I'm telling you.
It's, coming from just across the river, living right beside you, then coming over here, then having the opportunity to have a voice. Wow.
It's insane. It's like, it's night and day difference from what it was when I was a kid to where I'm at now. Night and day difference.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I had troubles learning. I was in DH. I was in like learning disability classes, like, autism, problems, like learning, trying to like figure things out.
Attention span.
Attention span was like the size of a gnat. I was the kid who would be like, we would have some cool philosophical conversation about anything, and then all of a sudden I'd be like, well, check out my He-Man, or check out this, so to me it was like weird. I didn't think that I could be as far as I am, especially with technology and things that I like now. It's so weird. It's night and day difference. It really is. It's night and day difference. So I think if we could find a few people, businesses wise, that are not just in the marketplace to, grow their business, but I think like I really feel like I'm on to something when it comes to saving the traditional businesses that we're looking for, right? Like if you've got, like I love your business model because yours helps everyone. Like if you get people,
I'm lucky and fortunate to be in.
It's
my
amazing.
industry.
Like if you get people like off of drugs, you've just added a new member to society that's going to help that town, that people. You know what I mean? Like you literally are taking people that are like needing, not just wanting to get, like, okay, so like if somebody comes here, they want something, right? Like you're dealing with people that need it. You know what I mean? Like that's a difference. That's a huge difference in the marketplace. Like
the way I treat it is I help them, but I help them help themselves.
Right.
And it's through a great supportive team. We just have people that carry the message that you're good enough. And today's the only day that matters, baby.
That's it, man.
Just keep going forward.
That's it.
No matter where you are in the process.
I love it.
And I mean, we have to step forward. I tell you, one time I climbed Mount Washington. And I know this is kind of random, but I climbed the White Mountain Range in New Hampshire. Yeah, so I was climbing Mount Washington, and I think I can't remember, it's like 6,200 feet or something like that, climbing Mount Washington. And my guide, his name was Bill Quaddy or Quady. He's on my Facebook anyway. So he's behind me, and I'm like, so what's the deal? Like if people can't make it? He was like, you have to make it. I was like, what if they can't? He's like, there's no helicopters that's going to come 10,000 feet to rescue your ass, and you have a medical card. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, whatever. So he said, that's what he said. I was just laughing. I was like, hey, man, I'm poor, whatever. So, but I realized at that moment, like, no matter how big that step is and how hard it is, you can take all the time you need. But the only way to get to the top is to take that next step. No matter where you are financially, there's a way to get up there. There are a lot of free resources with social media and everything that you can connect with. And that's how you get to the top. You got to keep going up, and you got to keep grinding. And even when it's hard, it's hard. And that's the recovery journey too.
It is.
The recovery journey is not, listen, nobody gives a shit that you got clean and sober. They're living their own life.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? And probably for the first year, they're going to treat you like they treated you the last 10 years.
That's what I was about to say.
So that's where we come in. We're like, hey, man, you're worth it. It's going to be a process, not an event. Let's just turn it around a little bit. So that's one of the things I'm really looking for, is to show people the other side of recovery, show people that there are normal people walking around here that just have really impactful stories.
For sure.
Yeah, and to show people there are no excuses for you to have access to get off of drugs in the tri-state, which 3 or 4 years in a row, BusinessInsider.com rated it as the most miserable city in America.
For sure.
Not state, not county, city.
Yeah.
Number 1 was Charleston. Number 2 was Huntington, National, and Ironton. In the whole world. United States or whatever.
That's so sad.
Come on. So that's what the whole world labels us at.
Yeah.
So we're like, damn, man. So all we got to do is help. And I think the way to help is to get people in here, the normal people that are really
get the story out there. Yeah, I agree 100%. So there's been like this crazy push where people, they look at anybody who's like having an addiction. They look at them as like they're less than. Like they don't want to see them. It's like, oh, you can do your thing, but let's put you over here to where we're like, you know, you can go get help and that's cool, but go over there. Like they just don't want to see you as you're getting help. You know, when I was homeless, there was like people that helped us, but they still looked at us like we were just scum that was on the bottom of their shoe. You know, like, yeah, we'll help you. Here, you're poor. You'll love this. And I'm like, like, there's just this feeling of, like, okay, I get that you're helping me, but you don't have to make me feel like shit as you're helping me. For real. Like, that's come on, man.
Like we were talking earlier, they're just people.
I think we lose sight of that sometimes. And that's what I was saying earlier. My grandmother, she was a meter maid here in Ashland. She was a police officer for years. Like, and people loved her. And she gave you tickets. You know what I mean? Like, she is not the police officer that most people would love. Like they would be like, I hate this person. They keep catching my car and I keep having to pay this thing. But they loved her. They loved her. And she'd give them a ticket and they loved her for it because she was always communicating with them. She was always talking to them. She was in the shit. She didn't care. She would just be right there in front of you. Like, hey, you're going to be at dinner next weekend. I promise you. Like, you know, that was just how that was. And now I think we've lost sight of the fact that it's just people. Like when you look at government, you look at officials, they're just people. When you look at people that are in crisis, people that are in addiction, recovery, it's just people. Like all the way around the board, you see these billionaires. At the end of the day, they're just people. Like everybody has the same heartstrings that can be pulled for the same causes if we all got together to be like, hey, listen, man, we're all people. Can we just help each other a little bit for this part right here? I get, you guys want to be an asshole and you want to go that way. That's fine. Go that way.
For sure.
But can we at least agree that this part sucks? You know what I mean? And like maybe put a stop to this part of it. Like I'm 100% down for that. And I think that like any true person should be. Like I think that it's a good starting place. Can we at least get a starting place to being a human being? Like, we do 12 years of school at the beginning for just your, normal stuff that they're supposed to teach you. How many things do you think that you go through every day that you actually use the things that they taught you in school?
Well, I was the Board of Education president at South Point Local Schools for a while.
Yeah.
So I tell you, the way it's structured is, it comes down from the state.
Right.
So you have to get it in there.
Exactly.
And there's not a lot of leeway.
There's not.
So you're just people.
Yeah.
And you're governed by a set of rules.
Exactly.
But one of the things the schools haven't done a good job at is teaching somebody how to start a business.
That's what I'm saying. Like
teaching people about taxes.
None of that was
the home
positive.
economic stuff kind of went to the wayside. But one thing South Point has done a great job is referring to the vocational school in Lawrence County.
I love that.
Fantastic. Nursing, they have all kinds of trades that people are going, and they've done just such a great job out there. So there are trades that you can get, the military, education, and starting your own business is something that a lot of people do without a playbook.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's a rough journey. And so with the VOTEC, I think that is probably one of the coolest things that I think we have as people. And I think that should be like, okay, so where we have this is just an idea that I have floating around, and I love this idea, though. And there was a guy, I was talking to him a long time ago, and I said, man, I've got all these tools. It would be such a cool thing to have a place where people could come, rent one of these tools, and we could have somebody here to teach them how to use this said tool, right? To go out and do something. He's like, well, that's just a VOTEC. Like, and I was like, he's right. Like that really was what the idea that I had was. But when I thought back on it, I was like, it was more than that. I want a mall where people walk through a mall. They're having fun. They get to look at shops. They walk around. They get to do whatever they want. A VOTEC, you are there for the one thing that you're there for, right? But you get the chance to see some of the other things that's going on, but not even really, because they don't really want you, like if you're in carpentry, they don't want you hanging out in the welding shop, right? Like you might be able to get away with that for like, a couple times you might know somebody or something, but they don't really want you in there. Imagine a mall where when you walk into it, every shop and every place that's in there is for exactly that. You can learn. Like you can go in there. We have this place.
Like for adults.
It's for adults, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an addiction free. You don't have any, like, there's no, like, it's a place where you can learn to have some fun in a field that you could actually get paid in one day. You know what I mean? Like you walk into this mall, there's a welding shop. Oh, let's see what they got going on at the welding shop. They can teach you how to make, here, we're making chairs today. This is really cool. Like you could step in on a class. Like, I'd pay $20 for that. Like, here you go. And I get to watch how they make a chair. Like, you know what I mean? And I might get to make my own chair. Like, we're doing the carpentry side. We're making little dog houses today. Look, that's cool as heck. There's 20 for that. I'd sit down on that. Yeah. And every time you go in there, you could walk in there and learn anything you want. Dude, that's the kind of healthy stuff that I want to start seeing. Why that's not a thing, I have no idea. But I've always thought to myself, man, they need to have like a vocational school, but it's like a mall. And it's like you could just learn whatever you want to on the fly. And I think that we're getting into the point now, to mark my point with what I was saying, we're getting into the point now with social media that you could accomplish that in a really quick way. Like one of these billionaires, one of these millionaires could be the first person to actually start this school, right? And it would make money hand over fist. Like, we got journalism in here. I'd like to learn how to do the cameras and like.
It's like a free college.
Right.
Yeah. Training.
And it's
so
like
awesome.
you don't necessarily need the big. What I have always been told about college is that when you go to college, you're not paying for the school that you're going to. You're paying for the people you're going to meet at that place.
Well, I tell you, it's education if you pay for it.
Right.
It's training if you get paid for it.
There you go. That's awesome. I like how you said that.
I have a really good suggestion for you. I really do. You have a really good, serene, just kind of an intimate space over here for your photography. I really think you should find 10 or 15 local artists,
Yeah.
have them play 3 songs every Saturday night, have a little acoustic tiny desk concert, but let's rename it something.
Love it.
For free.
I love it.
And just have a jam. They can bring their own crew.
100%.
And so if there's an artist out there that you want to like get a message out, or you want to just, if you think you have a chance to make it, get your voice in here.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's all it is. If we find the right person to connect here, it could make people get off drugs. It could make
100%.
people advertise better, and it's going to enhance you, and it could set their career on fire.
I think it's 100%. Yeah.
So that's one of the things maybe you could figure out. I could even help you organize it. So,
I'd love it.
There are some great local artists that are almost there. So I saw that. I tell you, one of my favorite local artists is Corduroy Brown.
Yeah.
Shout out to Corduroy Brown.
Never heard of him.
He has a song called 4th Avenue, and he's right there. I think he got signed. He's right there. So he's a local artist.
Yeah.
And he's really trying to make it to the next level. So he's going all in. And
That's
he
awesome.
is just a great local artist. I can see if we can get him on here, sing a few songs, and maybe we can get a couple other people to just come in and jam out.
That would be really cool.
That'd be just a great thing. The Tiny Desk concert started somewhere.
I love Tiny Desk. It's literally one of my favorite things. And that's what I had talked about several people here. She can even tell you that was kind of my idea, was to like kind of copy that image, because I loved it. Like, so the lady that I took care of, her name was Pam Van Horn. She was the most amazing person ever. She was my therapist. She was the person that kind of got me off of being an idiot, and I started helping her, and I kind of like, I started seeing potential in myself because she believed in me, right? So like, and so instead of being like, woe is me, the typical, because that's what I was going through. I was
Feeling your inner child.
Yeah, I was literally hurt, and I couldn't express it to people.
Yeah.
So I got to meet Pam, and Pam was this amazing person. She helped me out. She got me right back on the right foot. When she passed away, it hurt. It hurt to the point where I was like, this sucks. Like I couldn't think of a life without her, right? After all those years of saying I would never like to go through therapy, I would never like to talk to somebody, and then I get to meet somebody, and then they get taken away. So
hey, listen, you can only have hurt if you have love.
Yeah.
So if you never loved that experience or that person or that connection, you wouldn't have hurt.
Right.
So you have to embrace it, because the more you hurt, the more you loved.
Right. And
that's
the thing. So from here, we do at this place, I'm trying to keep her memory alive. And so I have the 2 PAM initiatives, right? Which is providing for all ministries and providing for all music. So that's the PAM, providing all music, providing all ministries. So if you are a person who does any kind of ministry work, like, we call that God's work. So if you're like a preacher, you're a person who wants to get people on a better path. I don't care if it's like, righteousness, whatever it is, you've got a sermon, you've got people you want to talk to, that you come in here, we don't charge for that. Like a person who's into music, I think music heals people. And it's one of those things that's like, it kind of unites us to a point where it's not just entertainment. Like I said, it's memories that you're making right then and there. I could think of like times that I had in my life where Bone Thugs and Harmony was my whole everything for a long time, right? So like I can know exactly where I was at certain times when I hear it. Tool was like my favorite band of all time, like ever. I can sit here and I can listen to any Maynard song and I know exactly where I was the moment that I heard it, right? Like I'm just like, I can just feel that and just go into it. 5 Finger Death Punch. I can go through any of these different like genres of music, any person, blues, it doesn't matter. Every time there's been music, I associate a time with it. And it's like, that's been my keeper of time, is music. So I'm not ever going to charge anybody that does music. So like, I think that's one of those things that's just awesome. We're going to be taking down the Christmas tree and all of that. And we're going to be rearranging this place to make it a lot better. Listen, if we can make this place nice enough to where it can actually do little concerts like that, I think that's a really cool place to start.
Well, you can even have Tri-State Media sponsored by Passages LLC for that concert. We
For
can
sure.
work on it and set it up.
For sure. I am 100% down.
It's not going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
We're just going to find local artists that
That's
come in
it.
here and jam out some original songs, some covers, And maybe we'll have a 90s vibe. Maybe we'll have some acoustic Tool. Who knows?
Would be amazing.
But I think there's some local artists, some great messages, and you have a great audience.
I think there's an amazing platform for it. And I think that, like, you know, some of these studios, when you go into them, they charge you by the hour, like ridiculous rates. Like, and I'm not mad at anybody for making money. You've got to provide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to take anything off your plate. But here we can help you. You can come in, you can practice your song. You can sit over here and just jam away, and I could record that for you, and you can have all of that worked out. By the time you get going into the studio, you don't have to do very much, right? Like you're just showing up to be like, hey man, record this, and you know, a real studio will be like, dude, you have this polished down. Like, this is amazing. Like, I think that they would be happier because you're not kind of wasting their, well, just in case, you know, I don't know how they think, but I'm not going to
I know
say
one
that.
thing is there's some musicians out there that just need a voice for free.
That's what I mean.
Because everything costs.
Everything costs. It's so ridiculous.
All it costs you is a 15-minute drive or 30 minutes in the local area. And when you get here, you jam out. It's great vibes, great people. And then you take off and then just let it flow on the internet.
And then I'm going to literally put it out there for you. And it helps everybody. And here's the cool part. You're paying me by letting me promote you out there, because I get more following. You're going to get more following. You don't have to pay for coming in here. You're getting a free video. It's like one hand washing the other all the way across the board, and I love it. I think that is what business is supposed to be, right there.
Some of the people, we can sit down and interview them and have a little quick podcast.
I think that is awesome. See, I've been trying to get Holly Forbes in here for a while. She said she was going to come in, and I was really excited about that, and then she's just had so much stuff going on. When you get to a certain level, I think that, like, you know, your time is very valuable, right? And I'm not trying to take anybody's time. I know that you're dealing with stuff, and I get it. But at a certain point, you know, like, hey, I'm wanting to work with you here. Like, I want you to come in, like, say your story. Let us know, you know. There's so many cool people. Like, we had Kibo Cyrus, right? I love Kibo. He is awesome. That dude is a trip. He is so fun to hang out with. Like, he comes in, he jams out. He's like, you know, he's hanging out with us. Like, we know him on First Base. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. He's like family now. He's like on our opening. If you see him on there, like, he's literally playing Star Spangled Banner. Like, that is a cool dude, man. Don Greyheart, super cool. Don is like an amazing harmonica player, and that's Don Gayhart. He is awesome. He one of the coolest harmonica players I've ever seen. Like, dude can jam his ass off, right? Like, and I love it. I get to meet these cool artists. They've had a place to like sit up. You know, we can record you. We'll say semi-professionally, right? Like, I can record acoustics better than I can plugged in, but I can record plugged in as well. So it's a matter of everybody getting together and then just kind of setting up time and meshing. Well, that's realistically all it is.
It actually sounds like you're talking yourself out of it. Listen to me.
No, I love it.
Listen,
I want more of it. I
want you to look in this motherfucking camera and say, hey, bitch, we got the solution to your problem. I want you to say, you have a problem, or you have a solution for a problem that somebody needs.
Right.
You can get that in here. There are so many small businesses locally that are going to shut down in 2026.
Yeah.
Let's all get together and try to make it to 2027.
Yeah.
This is a small business.
Yeah.
I have a small business. You have a small business. Even if you're playing guitar, you can promote that as a small business.
Yeah.
If we all come together, the only thing it's going to do is create a bigger voice.
Yeah.
So I know you have all the tools. You have the voice. You are a big, strong, empowering human being. You're almost intimidating. You're just like, you tower over people, but you have this soft delivery.
Yeah.
You connect with people almost the first word. So if we could connect your voice with these voices and let the public hear it, man, we could really make an impact.
I think so too.
And small businesses impact the community.
Yeah.
So if we could get the voice out, impact the small businesses, they can impact the community, and then the community will come back here and watch these videos.
So that's what I think we need now.
Full circle.
We need to look at all the businesses that we think that we could help or impact.
Nope.
You don't think so?
We need to look at all the businesses. That's the end of the sentence.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
There's no business we can't impact right now.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. I keep thinking to myself that there's businesses that are too big for me to touch.
Why?
You know what I mean? I don't
Why?
know. I don't know. It's like it's a healthy thing where I feel like I'm just coming up, so I'm trying to like, you know,
you seeing the Death Star?
Yeah, you know, like I'm like it's.
But Michael, you go to the Ashland, all these business, the meetings and everything. That's huge in our area.
Well, thinking like King's Daughters or something like that.
Yeah.
Where do you even start?
That's what I mean.
But here's the deal: they have 1,000 programs and stuff in there.
Yeah.
You could celebrate a program. You could promote a program.
Yeah, I would love to.
They're there. There's breast cancer awareness coming up. That's always a thing. There's Recovery Month. There's mental health. There's
King's Daughters is so massive of an industry. It's so massive of a business. Like, I mean, when you think about it, it's like, and I keep trying to keep in mind that these are all just people, right? It's all ran just by people, families of families of families of families of families, right? So like, it's just, where do you start? Like, it's like the mayor said, he goes, you know, it's just like any, you know, if you try to eat an elephant one bite at a time, that's what you can do.
That's when I asked you, how many people did you reach out to this morning already?
Yeah, that's what we got to do more.
You could do it all day, every day.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you get 3 yeses, they might change your life.
That's true.
There are so many competing like bar and grills around here that are just mom and pop shops. Like you know, there's some new ones all over the time. If you Google places to eat around me, there are new ones all the time.
Yeah.
So some of those need a big voice to all of your viewers and stuff. So
see, I love that, and I think that is a great idea, and I'm definitely down to do that. I think that's where we should start. And
every restaurant, listen, give them a free thing if they bring us their signature dish. We'll rate it live. I don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm gonna dip everything in ranch and Frank's Red Hot anyway. It don't matter. So everything's 10 out of 10, baby.
Yeah, man, this is delicious. Like, are you liking my food, or do you just like the Frank's Red Hots? Like,
hey,
you know what? It's a hit.
You put it on anything. But so realistic, I think we can evolve into just a great big voice for the community. And
I think so,
through small businesses.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to do that journey with you, and we'll get some. We'll figure out a way to sponsor a little tiny desk concert.
I think that would be great.
Different.
Yeah.
So
we got to
find. If we could figure out the public, if they could nominate somebody, or
that's what I was thinking. So we need to figure out who would be the first artist to play. I mean, that would be the first step. We got to find an actual artist that's willing to like come down and say, "Hey, what's up?
That's it.
I heard your stuff, and I'd love to play for you guys."
Got a couple songs.
Yeah.
I want to get my voice out there.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, we can, if you figure it out on your podcast or your YouTube channel, whatever you have to do. I don't even know all that internet stuff, but if you could figure out how to get some votes and somebody nominate somebody, or somebody step up to the plate and be like, I want to be the first one.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. I mean?
10 years from down the road, man, if they get a hit and they're on the ramen or whatever.
Yep.
And we had the first video.
I'd like to get my buddy Benny G in here. He's he plays blues, and the man is cold with it. Like, I mean, he plays that guitar just cold with it. And I'm like, dude, you should be doing this for your, like, that should be your thing, man. Like, he's a security guard right now over at Sandy's. I mean, awesome guy, like, just super cool. But
wait till you hear Friendly Fire, my friend James.
I definitely want to hear this. I have not heard that song.
They're from like Ona, Milton area. I've known this guy forever. There are so many people locally like that.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I was saying. We had this, the young man, Hayden, wasn't that his name? Hayden Hensley, dude, was on Grand Ole Opry at like, what, 11, 12 or something?
Yeah, he was more excited about being on our podcast.
He was more excited about being here than he was at being on the Grand Ole Opry, which is the kid is amazing. Like, if you hear him play, he's just like,
I think that's
so
what
good.
You have. They're playing to an audience that is limited, that is finite.
Yeah, that's true.
Your voice is unlimited.
Yeah, it's going everywhere.
So if they play at the Ryman or somewhere, or if they're playing in Nashville, there's just the crowd.
That's very true.
So this is smaller, and you're putting it out there to the world.
Yeah, and I love it. I think that's the cool part about social media now, that what it could be. Like, I'm praying that social media takes a turn for the better. Like,
it doesn't matter.
Everybody's like,
you just got to do you, man.
Well, that's the thing. But everybody's like, oh, okay, like, everything you see on social media is bad, or it's manipulated, or, and then AI is going to kill us. And I'm like, dude, no. Like,
what good did you put on there today?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. AI, to me, is like one of the greatest tools that we've ever created. And I think it's going to be amazing. I mean, I've done more. Like, my little brother said, he said the funniest joke ever the other day. He goes, listen, I did it all by my how did he say it? He said I did it all by my AI self. Yeah. And I was crying laughing. I was like, dude, that is the funniest thing I have ever heard. But it was so good because that is the truth. Nowadays, AI has helped me more in small amount of time than anything I would have thought it could have been. You know what I mean?
You're
like
using it as a tool.
Using it as a real tool, like a friend. Like it's great to bounce off ideas with. Like it actually does what it's supposed to do. Not just making cat videos, although I love cat videos. I'm just saying, there could be more.
It's helped double checked on my paperwork on my work.
Right.
Just like, because being in the healthcare industry, you have to have everything.
That's a
if you are billing insurances, everything has to be exactly perfect, because you don't want to accidentally commit fraud or anything like that just by like not 100%. Crossing the T's. Yeah. So the AI has really helped me in that. So it's going to use you, or you can use it, but it's not good or bad. It's just AI.
It's just AI.
It's out there.
That's exactly
right. You can use it or you can't. That's it. You can bitch about it. You can't. It doesn't matter.
That is 100% true.
I almost have to get out of here, but I want to go over a couple things first.
Yes.
So you and I, this podcast started out, it's called Hostage, and it was about mine. Then it's Tri-State Media Services and all this stuff. I cannot wait to develop a partnership with you where we can help people get off drugs.
100%.
We can help people get a voice for the world.
Yep.
And we can help them with music, their message, whatever. I think we really are onto something right now.
I do too.
Because a lot of people aren't building it without going straight to the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody has the bad stuff.
I know.
That's the easy way out.
Yep.
So if we create something special and really showcase the people, places, and things in the tri-state,
for sure,
I think it'll get us off the Business Insider list of the most miserable city in America.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. That's what I'm trying to do.
2 phone numbers. My phone number to get off drugs or mental health or anything, mental health, kids, adults, elderly, anything, LGBT, any type of thing you want to talk about or figure out how to get professional help. It's 681-684-7233, and that's 681-684-SAFE. Now, I want to ask you, we are really seeking opportunities to connect with some people out in the public. Who can they contact? What do they need to say? I know we're doing this by the seat of our pants, but listen, it really can impact the world if we get the right message out there. Who do they contact and how they get a hold of them?
If they wanted to contact me or anybody that works here, it's 606-939-6616, and that's Tri-State Media Services. So you can contact us any day, time of day or night. It doesn't matter. We will work with you. We literally live right down the street from where we're at.
So if you hear that, if you are an artist, a struggling artist, or an artist almost there knocking on the door, and you want your voice to go to thousands and thousands of listeners.
180,000 so far and climbing.
So you got almost 250,000 followers.
Yeah.
You got all those views, and now you have the tool to get that out to even more.
Right.
So one more time, what's the phone number?
606-939-6616, and that's Tri-State Media Services. Give us a call. We will help you out any way we can.
Perfect, man. So listen, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing about your son. I know that was probably difficult for you. And if you need anything, I'm going to be here for you in life.
Yeah.
Just till the very end, bro. Till the very end.
Love it, man.
So thank you so much for sharing with me today.
Always a pleasure, my brother.
My pleasure serving you.
Yeah. So with that, we are going to call it a wrap. And if you guys need anything, you know how to reach out to us. Yeah. Peace.
All right, deuces.